Welcome to my channel. If you like the content, please subscribe for more.
Found out she, 23, cheated on me, 25, with a coworker, 21M. Since no one else is, should I tell his girlfriend, 20? To make a long story short, I'm a 25-year-old guy and my girlfriend, who is 23, cheated on me with a guy she works with. This guy, who's 21, had been making advances towards her for months before they finally started making out. She only told me about it a month or so later, and needless to say, it was devastating. We've been together for 4 years, and trust has never been an issue between us until now. It feels like my world and self-confidence has crumbled. We're trying to figure out if our relationship is salvageable, but it's been really difficult. I've been feeling pretty destroyed inside lately. But that's not really why I'm posting here today. What's really been bothering me is how the other guy's girlfriend, who is 20, is being treated. Apparently, this guy has convinced everyone at work, including management, to keep quiet about the affair. Nobody is going to tell her that she's with a cheater who has covered it up. And that's where I'm stuck. Should I tell her? I'm not doing this out of revenge or anything, but I feel like if I was in her position, I'd want to know the truth. It's painful, but it's better than living a lie, right? I've been feeling really nervous about reaching out to her. I don't know if it's my place to say anything, but at the same time, I feel like I'm overstepping my boundaries by not saying anything. It's a tough spot to be in. After much deliberation, I decided to send her a message. I didn't want to ruin her life or relationship, but I also didn't want her to live in ignorance. I made it clear that I wasn't motivated by revenge or anything, and that I simply wanted her to know the truth. I'm waiting for her response now, and I'm honestly feeling pretty anxious about it. I don't know what her reaction is going to be or how this is going to affect my relationship with my girlfriend, but I know that I did what I felt was right, and I'll have to deal with the consequences as they come. Update. Well, I finally got a response from the other girl, and I couldn't believe what happened next. We agreed to meet up at a coffee place, and when I showed her the proof of her boyfriend's infidelity, she broke down in tears. It was pretty awkward, to say the least. I tried to comfort her as best I could, but it was clear that this revelation had hit her hard. I felt sorry for her, but at the same time, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction that the truth was finally out there. It was almost like I had won a battle, even though I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. After a few minutes of crying and talking, we parted ways. I gave her my number in case she wanted to talk more or needed some additional support. I didn't expect her to call, but I felt like I had done the right thing in telling her the truth. To be honest, part of me was cynical about the whole thing. I mean, sure, it felt good to be the one who exposed the cheater and helped someone out, but I also couldn't shake the feeling that it was all a little too convenient. Maybe she already knew about the affair and was just using me to get more evidence, or maybe she was going to use my number to try to get back at a boyfriend in some way. I know that sounds paranoid, but after being burned like this, it's hard not to be a little cynical. At the end of the day, though, I know that I did the right thing by telling her. Whether or not she decides to stay with her boyfriend is up to her, but at least she knows the truth now. Update 2. It's been a few weeks since I broke the news to the girlfriend that cheated. She was devastated, but she thanked me for telling her the truth. She eventually dumped the guy and moved on with her life. But something unexpected happened after that. She called me one day and we ended up talking for hours. It felt like we connected on a deeper level. Since then, we've been meeting quite often and getting to know each other better. Meanwhile, my own girlfriend has been calling me constantly, saying she's sorry and begging for another chance. But I can't get the other girl out of my mind. I never thought I would be the type of person to cheat, but something about this new relationship feels right. I know I should feel guilty about leaving my girlfriend, but I can't help the way I feel. I've been honest with her and told her that I need some space to figure things out. She's heartbroken, but I don't know if I can go back to her. It's a strange feeling being with someone new after being in a long-term relationship, but I'm excited to see where this goes. Who knows, maybe it won't work out with the new girl either. But right now, I can't imagine being with anyone else. Story 2. I, 32, keep finding out more about my wife's 32 college affair 13 years ago. About 13 years ago, my girlfriend, now my wife, cheated on me in college. She initially claimed it was an attempt to gain my attention, and I admit I was not the best partner at the time. For about a decade, I believed the cheating was only emotional with a bit of kissing. The worst I witnessed was her coming home covered in hickeys. Although I never truly forgave her, I was able to move on with some resentment. However, over the past few years, a series of events has made me question whether her claims were true. A mutual friend disclosed to me during a drinking game that my wife had performed Al S time on the guy during the affair. When I confronted my wife, she confirmed that she had done so but had not received any S-time mule attention and had called a stop to it. This explanation did not sit right with me, and I pushed for the truth. After a lot of prodding, my wife revealed that the guy had used his hands on her first, and she felt uncomfortable. She then turned to performing O Inashinil on him. When he wanted more, she told him she didn't know what she wanted, and he interpreted that as a signal to continue. He leaned her back on the couch and got on top of her, but she panicked and called a hard stop before he penetrated her. I am having a hard time believing this story is true, and it's difficult to accept that it didn't go further. I find it foolish to believe that she would stop there, given her consistent people-pleasing mindset and family trauma, coupled with wanting to hurt me. I am not sure if a 19-year-old would have the maturity to call a stop in that situation without actually having S-time. Redditors' reactions. Update after Redditor 1. Am I the only one who has more of a problem with the 13 years of lying than the actual act of cheating? I'd have an easier time forgiving someone who full-on cheated and told me after then someone who kind of cheated but lied to me for years. I think lying straight to your face for years is a much bigger issue than the actual cheating. Redditor 2. She dinged him but doesn't want to be truthful. You need to get over it. You married her knowing she was unfaithful. You have to live in the bed you made. Redditor follow-up. I don't know why some victims of infidelity also fall into the trap of thinking they can have their cake and eat it too, just like the cheaters do. Redditor 3. This kind of event fascinates me in that first, I have been there and trickle truths are a mindfuck. While you're looking for the facts objectively, how do you even begin to know what the truth really is? You'll get things after a while that you'll say, I don't remember anymore, and the story changes details that you clearly remember, and she won't. So, changing them on her end leads you to even greater suspicion. Can you really ever get to the bottom of things that occurred a long time ago? Because the discovery had made such an impact, I can even remember where I was and what she was wearing. When the story comes out again from her, a few things have changed. So, where is the lie? What is the truth? I gave up and moved on. Good luck. Redditor follow-up. I hope you know that you don't deserve that kind of deception and manipulation from anyone. I don't care who you are. You deserve transparency and respect. Update. After some comments on Reddit, I decided to dig deeper and have long talks with my wife about her infidelity in college. She finally revealed that it was more than what she had previously disclosed. It was a full physical affair. I'm devastated and don't know how to move forward. I'm at a loss and don't know what to do. Has anyone gone through a similar situation and come out the other side? How did you work through the betrayal and rebuild trust? Any advice or guidance would be greatly appreciated. Story 3. My 26th story. Just needed to get this out. On February 23rd, my girlfriend and I had a really tough day. We had been having arguments recently about a male coworker of hers. Even though they worked in different parts of the hospital and had very different jobs, I couldn't help feeling uncomfortable with their relationship. We argued about boundaries and questioned why this guy would want to be friends with her in the first place. I loved her so much, but I found it hard to believe that many 30-year-old guys would want a purely platonic friendship with a 20-year-old girl. To make matters worse, she had previously asked me not to talk to any of my female coworkers or classmates. She told me that she was so in love with me that the idea of me cheating on her would break her heart. Even though it was hard for me, I cut off contact with these people to make her feel more secure. However, she still accused me of cheating whenever I left for class early or forgot to tell her about a test. I tried to be understanding, but it happened so often that it was wearing me down. Despite all of this, she didn't see a problem with adding this guy on Snapchat without telling me. When I brought up my concerns, she accused me of being controlling. All I had asked was for her to imagine how she would feel if the roles were reversed, but she responded by saying that we were different people, so it didn't matter. I had also noticed that we weren't talking as much as we used to. She didn't have many friends at work, so I would stay up late just to text with her. I would even bring her food and coffee on her break. But ever since this guy showed up, things had changed. We would go hours without texting, and she was always too busy on her break. Eventually, she removed him from Snapchat, but I still wasn't comfortable with them being friends. She started hanging out with her coworkers after work for breakfast, since she worked the night shift and picking up more shifts, working almost 80 hours a week. I supported her, but I told her that I missed spending time together. On February 23rd, we had planned to spend the day together at her suggestion. We went to sleep together, but I woke up upset after having a dream about my cousin who had passed away on my birthday. I didn't want to wake her up, so I went to the living room and started looking through our Snapchat conversations. That's when I saw a recommended friend that was an offshoot of her account. When I tried to log into my new connection, I realized that I was blocked. I gently woke her up and explained everything, but at first she dummied it. She claimed that her brother had created a dummy account, but when I suggested that we ask her brother to log in to show that there was nothing going on, she got quiet and stared at the ceiling for 3 minutes. That's when I knew that it was true. She had been talking to multiple guys, and there were no breakfasts with friends, just hims. Just him. She blamed me, saying that she didn't like being controlled, and that we had been fighting a lot lately. But all I had asked for was to keep their friendship at work. Looking back, I realized that there were so many red flags that I had ignored. She had even told me that she had cheated on her previous 6-year relationship the entire time. But I had thought that I was different. I had loved her so much and committed emotionally to her more than anyone else before. But now, I'm healing. Some days, I still cry for what could have been, but I know that I loved an idea of a person behind a beautiful mask. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. The reason she was always worried about you cheating. Projection. She was likely always cheating on you. She was never a good person to be with, just a good actress. Redditor 2. Op. You are the first one that made me feel this way. I never experienced something like this before. It is different with you. I have been told this, and I found her cheating. For me, these sentences are forever red flags. A person, and a cheater in particular, won't change without a tremendous work on themselves. Sometimes even this work on themselves. Iski and Mick is just an illusion or camouflage. Glad you make it to the other side up, and your post contains a much valuable lesson. You must not be your worst enemy and let you ego blind you. Redditor 3. And I hope that you had dumped her, right?